If you are into horror movies and scary stories, this Halloween is going to be pretty spooky for you. Apart from trick or treating, watching scary movies alone in your room or with your family and friends is also a great way to spend your Halloween holiday. To make things easy for you, we have compiled a list of top 20 scariest horror movies to watch on this Halloween. You would surely enjoy these clips and get an idea of the most terrifying movies from this video. Number 20. Hereditary, 2018.
Never raise your voice at me! I am your mother! Please stop! Mom, what's happening? Make it stop! Make it stop!
One of the masterpieces of director Ari Aster is his debut movie Hereditary. The 2018 film features a grief-stricken family after the death of their mother figure. As the movie progresses, they discover evil ancestral secrets through supernatural disturbances. Aster's film is bleak and utterly hopeless, filled with supernatural and explicit scenes and a frightening ambience. Toni Collette's performance is insane and frightening to the core. A scene involving a nut allergy takes an abhorrent turn that viewers will not forget anytime soon. This movie is full of dark, dark stuff. Number 19. Midsommar, 2019.
Absolutely not.
What's happening? I don't know why you invited us.
That's why you look so guilty right now, because you know.
We only do this every 90 years.
As his follow-up from Hereditary, Ari Aster's Midsommar proves to be even more disturbingly surreal than his previous effort. Predominantly set during the day, a troubled couple travels to Sweden with friends for the fabled Midsummer Festival, which soon turns into a hellish nightmare. Our characters are invited to participate in obscene and violent rituals at the hands of a pagan cult, and Aster doesn't shy away from graphic detail and human despair, with the contrast of the bright Swedish landscapes and the polarizing brutality on display. Aster proves himself to be a sick genius. Number 18. Goodnight, Mommy, 2014. The torture is being carried out by children. It goes to extremely dark and shocking places. Number 17. Number 16. The Innocents, 2021. If you've seen any of their films, you'd know the Nordic always nail atmospheric horror. Pair that with creepy kids carrying out sadistic acts, and you've got yourself some pretty uncomfortable viewing. The Innocents takes these elements to create an understated yet relentlessly haunting film. During a bright Nordic summer, a group of kids experiment with their newfound powers as things take a dark turn. The violence and cruelty on display, including towards animals, is made all the more difficult to stomach because it is being carried out by seemingly little innocent children. Viewer discretion is advised. Number 15. Sinister, 20. As his research reveals horrifying discoveries. The film has a simple plot that is the stuff of nightmares. Number 14. Speak No Evil, 2022.
Because we do things differently.
Speak No Evil has cemented itself as one of the most shocking and heinous movies of 2022, which isn't an exaggeration by any means. In the film, a Danish family is invited to the home of a Dutch family they befriended on holiday, whose hospitality eventually turns into something increasingly alarming. It's the perfect example of a slow burn where things don't seem quite right throughout, but then end up going to a truly unbelievable and grotesque place with its brutal climax. The film speaks on the danger of compliance and is impressively harrowing and devoid of any warmth. Number 13. Mama, as it unravels its grotesque plot. Number 12. Prey.
Whatever did this, I can kill it.
Prey is is an action thriller set in the imaginary Comanche Nation some 300 years ago. The storyline features a young female warrior, Naru, who combats against the first predator alien to protect her people. It shows epic monster mayhem and action. Along with scary scenes, it also adds a thriller action dimension to entertain the viewers. It's a showdown of epic and terrifying proportions. Number 11. Train to Busan. The next horror movie on our list is South Korean action horror film. The action movie Train to Busan places the typical zombie apocalypse genre in a new light. It follows a father and his daughter's trip across the country by train as they learn that the country is becoming overrun by a plague. The train journey is filled with spooky and thrilling scenes, which makes the audiences gasp in awe. Number 10. Insidious.
Dalton?
Another popular blockbuster worth watching this Halloween is a 2010 supernatural horror film, Insidious. Patrick Wilson, Rose Byrne, and Barbara Hershey star in the first installment of the Insidious series, in which a family faces the reality that their son has fallen into a mysterious comatose state where he becomes possessed by otherworldly spirits. The whole movie revolves around the parents' effort to save their son from dark, supernatural powers. Featuring terrifying content, Insidious is a must-watch for horror lovers. Number 9. The Witch. Of Lighthouse director Robert Eggers and beloved production company A24. The Witch is set in 17th century New England and follows a Puritan family who is quick to blame the disappearance of their son on their daughter. Suspecting she is a witch, they battle between their familial bond and dark forces that might prove more powerful. The evil force manifests itself as bloody and terrifying acts. It will keep you unnerved throughout the show. Number 8. A Quiet Place. A family led by John Krasinski and Emily Blunt silently navigates a post-apocalyptic world, stalked at every turn by monsters that hunt their prey with a supercharged sense of hearing. Although the family of survivalists have so far managed to avoid the extraterrestrial hunters, the fractures within their own relationships may lead to their downfall. You will spend this entire movie on the edge of your seat. Number 7. The Blair Witch Project. When the Blair Witch Project originally came out in 1999, people didn't know whether it was real or fiction. Advertised as found video footage, it tells the story of 3 students who travel to a small town to investigate a murder and eventually get terrorized in the woods. It has no fancy special effects or digital monsters, but its characters get lost in the woods, hear noises in the night, and find disturbing stick figures hanging from trees. It is full of creepy campfire scares and spooky actions by the haunted jungle. It seems to be a simple documentary and gives a pretty real feel to the views. Number 6. It 2017. If you're unfamiliar with the story, which is based on a Stephen King novel, it follows a group of children battling against an ancient supernatural clown named Pennywise. Of course, the 1990 Tim Curry-led miniseries will always be a classic, but Pennywise was just begging for 21st century big-budget CGI effects. The giant clown in that projector scene tentacles swinging from Pennywise's mouth. After watching this super spooky movie, good luck sleeping. Number 5. The Conjuring. Before there was Amityville, there was Harrisville, based on a true story. The Conjuring tells the horrifying tale of how world-renowned paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren were called upon to help a family terrorized by a dark presence in a secluded farmhouse. Forced to confront a powerful demonic entity, the Warrens find themselves caught in the most terrifying case of their lives. Number 4. The Conjuring 2.
My house!
The supernatural thriller brings to the screen another real case from the files of renowned demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. Reprising their roles, Oscar nominee Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson star as Lorraine and Ed Warren, who, in one of their most terrifying paranormal investigations, travel to North London to help a single mother raising 4 children alone in a house plagued by malicious spirits. Number 3. The Nun.
Sister, please. This way.
Hello?
When a young nun at a cloistered abbey in Romania takes her own life, a priest with a haunted past and a novitiate on the threshold of her final vows are sent by the Vatican to investigate. Together, they uncover the order's unholy secret. Risking not only their lives but their faith and their very souls, they confront a malevolent force in the form of the same demonic nun that first terrorized the audience in The Conjuring 2, as the abbey becomes a horrific battleground between the living and the damned evil forces. Number 2. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. The 1970s horror thriller, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, has been famous ever since it was released. The film features the horrifying Leatherface and his cannibal family hunting down a group of hitchhikers. It shows many gruesome and bloody scenes which will make you pee in your bed. You can estimate the horror of this movie by the fact that it was banned in several countries when it was first released due to its sheer dread and extreme gore. It is still considered one of the scariest movies of all time to this day. Disgusting and remarkably impressive for its time, it is certainly not for the faint-hearted. Number 1. The Curse of La Llorona.
Behold the cross of the Lord, and be gone wicked things!
Finally, the last and the scariest movie on the list is The Curse of La Llorona. The Weeping Woman, a horrifying apparition caught between heaven and hell, trapped in a terrible fate sealed by her own hand. The mere mention of her name has struck terror around the world for generations. In life, she drowned her children in a jealous rage, throwing herself in the churning river after them as she wept in pain. Now her tears are eternal. They are lethal, and those who hear her death call in the night are doomed. La Llorona creeps in the shadows and preys on the children, desperate to replace her own. As the centuries have passed, her desire has grown more voracious and her methods more terrifying. This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you enjoy our list of top 20 scariest horror movies to watch this Halloween. And probably you would have decided which ones to watch this Halloween to make it more spooky and enjoyable. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more such amazing videos.